Good evening, everyone. Hello, thank you for coming to tonight's homeowner services webinar. Um, Today we'll be here with Alex Knipenberg from Brooklyn Legal Services to provide you with some educational information.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you, Rosalinda, for the introduction. And it's great to be here and great to talk today. My name is Alexander Knipenberg, and I'm a senior staff attorney at Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A. I work with Cypress Hills a lot, and we do have a lot of mutual clients. And Cypress Hills is a great organization, which especially when it comes to foreclosure prevention. Today, I will be talking to you about foreclosure prevention and what to do if you were ever in foreclosure, if foreclosure starts. I'm going to talk a little bit about the firm where I work at, Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A, the kind of work that we do, and the kind of work that I do and how it can help you, and generally what to do if you're a homeowner in New York, but you're struggling with your mortgage payments, if you fall behind, and if you're in foreclosure. So as I mentioned, I'm an attorney at Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A. I mostly work in foreclosure and I do bankruptcy work. We also have tenant assistance and community economic development clinic. As part of my work, I generally work with homeowners that are in foreclosure, usually in all stages of foreclosure, but generally when the foreclosure proceeding is filed, in your case is in court. Oftentimes before court, you should reach out to housing counselors like Cypress Hills Development Corp. But sometimes there are issues which happen even before court that it would be a good idea to get an attorney to assist you with this. But generally, I work with homeowners when foreclosure case already started, work with all stages of foreclosure, help draft an answer. So if you've been served with a summons or complaint, represent people in settlement conferences when foreclosure proceedings starts, and post settlement conferences if litigation is commenced. I also do some bankruptcy work. Generally, our bankruptcy practice is geared towards foreclosure as well. Bankruptcy can often be a good way, depending on what your needs are. Oftentimes, if the homeowner never participates in state court proceedings, they don't file an answer, so we don't have any defenses. Bankruptcy can be a good solution because it pauses all the state court proceedings and allows you to try to renegotiate your loan in bankruptcy court proceedings. So to start off, in New York, as you know, we've been through COVID for a bit, but basically in terms of court, the COVID is pretty much over. All the courts are fully open now. All the proceedings are back on. In Brooklyn, the court is still pretty much backed off in terms of cases. New cases that were filed during COVID and post-COVID still haven't really reached the court as much as other cases, but all cases are back on. And in Queens, basically all the cases are now going through. So there are no more pauses, there are no more moratorium, and if you're behind your payments by a lot, most likely, foreclosure could be started anytime. I want to talk a little bit about what foreclosure is. Oftentimes people don't understand and think that if you are behind on your payments, if you miss some of your payments, then the bank can take your house right away or evict you and get your house. That is not true in New York. In New York, foreclosure is a very lengthy process. And if you are behind your payments, you will have plenty of opportunities to try to settle your case, and you will have various options on what to do. So if you are behind your payments, make sure to reach out to someone who can help you. reach out to various housing counselors like Cypress Hills that can help you. Reach out to various legal services providers like us. All of those organizations are free. We don't charge our clients any money, and we're funded by the Attorney General. Also, be aware of scams when you go foreclosure. When you're on foreclosure, that's public knowledge, especially when the foreclosure case is filed. So that information oftentimes goes to scammers, and they start targeting you with, knocking on doors, phone calls, various mailings. So beware of that, because if someone tells you to pay them to get a loan modification or anything like that, oftentimes, it's someone who can scam you. And especially, as I said, there's so many free legal service providers and free housing counselors that you can access, and who are experts in their field and can help you a lot better. So generally, when foreclosure starts, there are various notices that the lender has to send you before the court proceedings even begin. There's a special notice that they have to send you 90 days before they start the foreclosure proceedings. The notice must describe how much you owe to the lender and how many days you're behind. Banks cannot, lenders, mortgage companies, they cannot start any foreclosure proceedings before they send this notice. If they start foreclosure proceedings without it, then the case can be dismissed potentially. In addition to that, depending on what kind of mortgage you have, lenders are required to try to make contact with you, try to give you various options and to see what is available if you're behind on payments. So, don't be afraid. You can always talk to the lender yourself to see what's available. And as I said, reach out to various housing counselors and legal service providers. After this notice, lenders might commence a foreclosure action. Usually it's done by filing a summons complaint in court, and then they have to serve you with it. Again, neither of those trigger your eviction. The bank still doesn't get the house. There's still an entire court procedure that they have to go through before they can take your house. So in New York, when the lender starts foreclosure proceedings, you have an opportunity to answer what they serve you with the complaint, to give your side of the story. There you can list your defenses and basically state what has happened, and maybe the bank has been treating you unfair, and various other things. Additionally, in New York, the cases, they do not go straight to the judge. In New York, they have to go into something that is called a settlement conference, which is kind of like mediation. So as long as you show up to your first mediation hearing, you get an additional time to file an answer to what the bank filed in their complaint. Oftentimes, when the homeowners are initially served with a complaint, they don't know what to do. They don't know that they only have 20 days to answer. They don't find someone in time to answer this for them. So this gives you a second chance, a second opportunity. Usually all of those settlement conferences throughout the New York City are staffed by various legal service providers who can help you with the answer and look at your case. So as long as you show up to your first mediation session, settlement conference, you will get another opportunity to file an answer. But even more importantly, you have to show up to, because this is, if you want to keep your home and you're behind, or if you want to do anything, this is the place where you should go, with or without an attorney. So during those settlement conferences, you and your attorney sit on one side, and then the bank and their lawyer on the other side, and there's a referee presiding over the proceedings who is there to make sure everything is done fair. During this time, you can decide what you want to do and what is affordable. If you do want to keep your property, most likely you will apply for a loan modification, which can modify the terms of your loan. That's one way of keeping your property. Basically, if you had a hardship previously, because whatever hardship was that caused you behind to cause you to fall behind your payments, but now your hardship is over and you can get back on track, loan modification might be a good solution for you. Oftentimes there are various grants from state and federal government that can assist you with reinstating your loan. During COVID, we got something that's called Homeowner Assistance Fund, and those funds are supposed to help you reinstate your loan, or they can also be used in conjunction with a loan modification. Currently in New York, the application time is closed. However, you can still get on a waiting list, and then you can see if anything else can become available. And those grants, they come in, right now it's half from the federal government. Previously, there was a MAP grant, and every couple of years, those grants appear that homeowners can use. There are also various programs with various other organizations in New York City. So, for example, if you have a reverse mortgage, there's something called IRMA, where you can get an interest-free loan to pay off the past due taxes and interest. So while you're in settlement conferences, you can also do various other things. You can apply for a repayment plan. You can, even if the property is no longer affordable to you, if you lost your income, you want to get rid of it, you can simply sell the property. Nothing prevents you from selling it if there's equity in it. And if there's no equity, you can always pursue a short sale. But with the property values in New York recently, most of the properties do have equity. So, worst case, if it's not affordable, then you can sell it. Those settlement conferences, they can last for a while. There's no set limit on how long they can last, but while you're in there, all litigation is prohibited. Litigation means bank trying to foreclose, and you're filing various answers to their foreclosure motions. So while the case is in settlement conference, everything is on pause, and every couple of months you would be meeting with the referee and the bank attorneys. All the work generally gets done outside the settlement conference. Your application, your documents, you submit everything outside the settlement conference process. You're in conferences, you're there, and the referee is there to check that everything is going smoothly. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then the case will be released to the judge and the foreclosure will be allowed to continue. And if the bank is not doing what they're supposed to do, then potentially there could be a lack of good faith hearing where the judge will determine if the bank is behaving in good faith or not. And if there is a lack of good faith, then the judge can make a decision to basically toll all of the arrears. It means that your past due interest will be forgiven and you can resume your payments how you were doing it before. Most of the cases in New York where homeowners are represented by attorneys, or where homeowners actually participate in foreclosure proceedings, most of those cases get resolved. So if you get a loan modification, that's it, and you accept it, your case is done, there's no more foreclosure is discontinued. If you get some kind of other settlement, same thing, foreclosure will be discontinued. Even if you decided to sell your property, it would still be the same thing. Foreclosure will be discontinued if you sell it and pay off your loan. Those are various ways to resolve your cases. If the cases do not get resolved, then the matter goes to the judge, and then the judge starts deciding, and then the case is being litigated. This is the time when you present your defenses and the bank tries to foreclose on your house. There are defenses in foreclosure proceedings, so even if you don't settle in settlement conferences, you can try to get a favorable outcome later in the case. Generally always foreclosure crisis, sometimes banks have proof that they are the owner of the loan and the case can get dismissed. Earlier I talked about a notice that must be sent to all homeowners before foreclosure starts. If the bank can't prove that they mailed a notice, or if they notice that the mailed had deficiencies in it, it wasn't done correctly, the case can get dismissed. It's also the time where you can make a motion if you believe that the bank hasn't treated you in settlement conferences properly, and you can make a motion for a lack of good faith. So that all happens after settlement conferences. And then the outcome is eventually either one side wins or the case goes to trial. So this is basically an overview of settlement conferences and foreclosure process in New York. At this point, I'll pass it to Rosalinda, and Rosalinda and Cypress Hills are going to talk about unscrupulous contractors and what you can do to get rid of them, or what your options are when you've been scammed or defrauded. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex, for providing detailed information about Brooklyn Legal Services Corp.'s services and how you help homeowners that are dealing with foreclosures, and dealing with the settlement conferences. Thank you for that. And we'll be sharing Brooklyn Legal Services Corp. Their contact info in case someone needs some legal advice.
You want me to just say it because there's no slide? I can say the contact info.
Sure.
Yeah, so it's Brooklyn Legal Services Corporation A. My name is Alex Knipenberg, and you can call our main line at 718-487-2300. You can also email us at info@bka.org. So it's info @b as in boy, k as in king, a as in apple.org. Thank you.
Thanks again, Alex. So as Alex mentioned, so now we're going to talk a little bit about Cypress Hills Local Development Corporation, the housing counseling services and what we provide to homeowners in the neighborhood, residents of the neighborhood. So for those that don't know, Cypress Hills Local Development Corporation, it was an organization that was founded in 1983. We're not for profit. As Alex mentioned, we also don't charge for our services. They're free for the community. And we have various services for young and older residents. We're a HUD-approved housing counseling agency. And we have multiple services and new sites. We have a new office, Chestnut Commons, and there we are now offering multiple services. So if you check our website of cypresshills.org, you will get a full updated list of the services and where to get the service that you're looking for. But just basically, we have youth and family services, childcare, career and education, college success, housing counseling, community development, community organizing, and business partners. But again, we have many, many more programs that have opened, and we're hoping to get additional funding, and we could open much more programs to provide this great opportunity for community residents. But in our housing counseling department, we have a few services for the community. We offer financial literacy counseling, tenant organizing, tenant counseling, senior housing counseling services, homeowner help desk counseling. That has it's broken down into different aspects of type of counseling for homeowners. And Shahida will talk more in depth about that. And foreclosure prevention counseling, which is what I do. The next slide, please. So for the financial literacy counseling, we would get you a copy of your credit report. We would go review and help you understand your credit report, address certain items on the report that you believe that are not yours or they shouldn't be there, and help you with your future goals. Like you want to improve your credit score or increase some credit because you're probably in the long run, you want to purchase a house. This is like a first step, and we can help you with that. We also help you manage your money, do a budget, we review your finances, and just see where we can help you decrease certain unnecessary things and increase your monthly income. This is, if you are interested, you can also get your credit report online for free at annualcreditreport.com. Sometimes it's hard to understand the credit report. So this is why we encourage people to come to us. Even if you pull your own credit report, or if you need us to pull a credit report that we pull is a tri-merge. So it'll list the 3 credit bureaus, and it'll give you a credit score. And so for our tenant counseling and organizing program, we have 2 tenant counselors in the office, Juan Vasquez and Juan Rivas. They provide different types of services. So they help people with illegal evictions, home repairs, any issues that they might have with the landlord or the building owner. They also try to organize big buildings to see how they can better help make a difference and get more services for all the tenants. If needed, we will refer you to legal services, address housing code violations, and just trying to make the renter feel more comfortable in their apartment unit with no issues. So talking about foreclosure prevention. So when homeowners are going through a financial hardship and they're not able to make their monthly payment, things do happen in life. Like we just went through COVID crisis. Many people became unemployed. There were a lot of deaths in the families. Just renters weren't able to also manage paying their rent. So these are certain things that do happen. So we are here to help you with that type of option. We would assess your financials, your income, your debt. We work on a budget to help you get back on track. We advocate for you. We would talk to the mortgage company and see what type of options they are available for you. It's all depending on the type of mortgage loan that you have. We inform you about these options, both retention and transition options, to see which is a better fit for the homeowner. And once we come to an agreement, we help you complete and submit a request for mortgage assistance application, which goes to the mortgage company, and just to see if there's possibility to get approved to keep your home. Our main goal is to try to modify your mortgage to a more affordable payment, where you are able to make your monthly payments and keep your house. And as Alex mentioned, some people are already in the courts. We still work together with legal services and see how we could, together with legal services and your housing counselor, how to keep your house. There are also some people that want to refinance their mortgage loans to decrease the interest rate, which will eventually help you decrease your monthly payment and make your loan, extend your loan for more months. This would some examples of trying to refinance is because you need to pay certain debts, some loans, credit cards, or if you need to make some home repairs. Or if you need to buy out a co-borrower on the loan, these are ways people look into doing a refinance. So we do limited refinancing counseling. What we do is we try to provide you with the financial literacy piece for you to understand if you're trying to remove someone or you're trying to get a new loan, if you are able to maintain that loan and make the future payments. We just get your package ready, prepared for you to when you do go to more a bank to try to get that new loan, that you'll be more of an approved application versus being denied. Now for this is for the landlord tenant counseling piece. Again, like I mentioned before, the type of services they do help with, if you're having issues with your landlord, the counselors give you information about your rights and your responsibilities as a tenant and how to navigate certain conflicts with the homeowner or the landlord. We also educate, okay, we also educate folks in avoiding being scammed. Alex also mentioned that there are a lot of scammers out there. So please be very cautious when you do get either a phone call, a text message, an email, or a letter in the mail about certain free opportunities or free help or free assistance. It's better if you come to HUD approved housing counseling agency for the help. We would tell you if it's legit or not, and if or if it's not, what are certain ways how we can help you with that certain situation.
Hello, everyone. I'm going to take over now, Rosalinda.
Oh,
Good evening, everyone. My name is Shahida Begum. I am the help desk counselor over here. I'm here to assist seniors and homeowners and senior tenants. So we're here to assist homeowners with finding cost-reducing programs that would help them maintain their homes and manage the expenses that come with owning a property. We assist homeowners by helping them apply for or find the right repair program that's suitable for their situation based on their income and household size. So here's a breakdown of the services that we provide. There are property tax exemptions and rent increase exemptions that homeowners can apply for and tenants can also apply for. This is a way for homeowners to save money is by reducing their property tax payments. That is based on their income and their situation. So the exemptions that are available for owners is the senior citizen homeowners exemption, or the disabled homeowners exemption, the veterans exemption, star or E-star exemption, the clergy exemption, and for tenants or the renters, they may be eligible for senior citizens rent increase exemption, SCREE, or DRE, which is disability rent increase exemptions. This is what the form looks like, and you can actually go to the New York City Department of Finance and read more about the programs that are available and what the qualification guidelines are. If you're interested in applying for any of these programs, I can assist you in applying for those. We do offer home repair programs. We assist homeowners to find subsidized programs for home improvement in the form of grants or loans for weatherization, home retrofits, or general repairs. General program eligibility guidelines include an applicant's household income, family size, types of improvement needed, etc. Some of the programs we often work with are the Home Fix, Neighborhood Housing Services, Sunset Park Redevelopment Committee, which is also known as the Weatherization Program. This particular program assists with repairing or replacing your windows, your doors, or if you need insulation, they assist with that. And then with Rebuilding Together also, it's a very similar program, but they assist with a little bit more improvements. Here we have a few steps that you can follow to make sure when you hire a home improvement contractor, you're safe and the work is done properly, correctly. A few of the steps that you can take is initially identifying the full home improvement project, and then you should shop around and see what the contractors, the estimates they give you, and make sure that they're reputable, or if someone has recommended, that's also a good idea. And then you should never pay the full price upfront. You should break it down either into 2 parts or 3 parts. Initially give them a payment, and then once they've completed certain percentage of the work, and then you make another payment, and then after the work is completed, maybe make the last payment. It's always best to get everything in writing. Verbal commitments don't really make any sense. It's always good to get everything in writing, so at least you can go back and make sure that whatever was written is what the contractor has completed. And you should know what permits are needed. You can do that by going to dos.ny.gov. That's a good website to remember as a homeowner. It's a very good website that will let you know what permits are needed. To get references and check if the contractors have a good reputation or not, you can actually go to bbb.org and find out more about the contractors. If they're reputable, they would have information up there most likely. And you should know where your payments are going. When you sign the contract or have everything in writing, you should know who the payments are to be made out to, so you can track the payments. You should get proof of insurance. The contractor should have insurance, so when they do the work, there's no issues if there is a problem. Check the licenses where it's necessary. We also offer senior housing counseling. If you're 60 years or older, we can assist you with home repair programs, HEAP, which is the Home Energy Assistance Program. So if you're behind on your gas bill, this program will assist with giving you a little grant to pay for your gas bill. The low-income household water assistance program is designed for people who are behind on their water bill. This program can assist up to $5,000 if you're behind on your water bill. We also assist with property tax exemption, as we mentioned, and then the rent freeze program, which is the SCREE and DREE. Apartment search, such as HPD Housing Connect, New York State HCR, and other senior citizen housing developments. We also assist with mortgage issues, any landlord tenant issues, applying for any appropriate grants. We assist with that also. Here we have information on everyone who can assist you. Like for the tenant counselor, we have one Iris Rivas or one Vasquez. For the homeowner help desk, myself, Shahida Begum. For foreclosure prevention, we have Rosalinda Gutierrez. And for housing counseling assistance, we have Abigail Bernal. And our director, Housing Counseling Division Director, Renee Arlane. We are located on 3214 Fulton Street on the street level. You can also reach us by 718-647-8100 to schedule an appointment, or if you have any questions. That concludes our.
Yes. Thank you, Shahida, for that information. Yeah, so for everyone that is needing any type of counseling, if you are a homeowner or a renter, you should reach out to our number, our office, 718-647-8100. And we could navigate, and help see how we can help you best, with your housing needs. Please reach out to us. It's best if you do call us. We do work on an appointment basis schedule just to avoid having crowds in the office. Our office is not as big, so we're trying to avoid having huge crowds here. Please give us a call. We'll help you with any type of housing need, or if you have any other questions about any of our other programs, we could guide you to the right program department. Thank you everyone for joining us tonight. So please, again, feel free to call us and we'll hope to help you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Rosalinda. Bye.